Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the show where I talk about running an insurance agency. I talk about sales and marketing strategies for insurance agents. I talk about staffing for insurance agents. I talk about retention and customer service for insurance agents. One of the most popular questions that I get right now is, hey, Matt, I know I'm supposed to quote a certain amount of people every day. How do I find people to quote? Well, if you text me right now to 208-213-8809, I have an asset pulled directly from my masterclass that I'm giving out for free. Text me 20 policies to 208-213-8809, and I will show you how to write 20 policies this week. On with the show. Hey, what's up? All right, so I had to take a little break. I think I've podcasted for like 6 years, 2 episodes a week, so I needed to take a little break. So I'm gonna ease my way back in here. So here I am. I wanted to tell a story. You know me, I like to tell stories. So I had an experience today with a client, and it went like this. So I got an email from a client, and she was very upset. She emailed the claims adjuster supervisor, me, and then like my claims department. And she pretty much she said, how dare you put chalk numbers on my house? Like, we had to replace parts of her roof. Okay. So she filed a claim. The roofer went out and marked up a couple of places on the house, with chalk. And she was not okay with this. She was irate. Okay. How dare you do this? Can't you do this less permanently? Or she was really pissed off. And so I was like, oh, geez. Well, so I kind of was CC'd on this, and I know the adjuster, and I was like, all right, let's see how the adjuster's going to handle this. And I don't agree with the way she handled it. How would you have handled that if you were the adjuster? All right. So the customer she did say, hey, look, is someone going to come in and clean this off, or do I need to do it and charge the company? So for starters, like, this customer is being unreasonable and dramatic. I think we could all agree with that. Okay. Secondly, this is just chalk on a part of her house. Okay. So it's nothing permanent. It's really not that big of a deal, but she's upset about it. Okay. So the adjuster replied, and like I said, I didn't like the reply. She said, as for the marking, it's customary that we use sidewalk chalk to mark off the roof during an inspection so that it can be seen in photographs. The next time it rains, the chalk will come off, and it can also be sprayed off with a hose if you prefer not to wait for it to rain. I'm sorry that you feel this is unacceptable, but it's our standard practice during an inspection. Now, I read that and I was like, oh, damn it. This was a missed opportunity, right? I was like, I know how this is going to end up. This is the way we do it. I'm sorry that you're not okay with it. This is not a big deal. Like, the right response in my mind would have been, Brandy, I'm really sorry that this happened. You know what? I'll take care of it for you. Okay. That's what went through my head. Like, I'll take care of it for you. So let me read you her response, because it keeps going. Okay. So client goes, are you even from Idaho? It won't rain until August enough to clean this off. It's completely ridiculous that you defaced my home. So that was the response. And she loaded up another one. She says, and you couldn't have marked on the side that didn't show to everyone. I'm highly unimpressed with this entire process. And then the adjuster did come back and said, hey, I just wanted to follow up. If you'd like me to send a roofer out to your home to clean the chalk, please let me know. Okay, there it is. Like, a little too late. And then my client, again, being unreasonable, was like, don't bother. She said a simple I am sorry and ownership that it could have been marked in a different spot would have sufficed. That's my point. Okay. Like, I actually emailed the supervisor before the second round of emails went off, and I was like, hey, Brian, this is a training opportunity for you. Okay. I said, look, I read the emails and I read the claims adjuster's response. I was like, I wasn't stoked with her response. I think the right because I think the right response would have been, like I said, no problem. We'll come out and clean this up. I'm sorry for the inconvenience or something like that, and just make it right and move on with your life. Instead, it triggered 4 more emails. My claims supervisor came back to me and was like, well, I kind of understand, and then he did the same thing. He was like, you know what? This was really on the roofer, not on us. And I was like, all right, nobody gets it. All right, nobody gets it. So why am I telling you this? Well, we control the service in our agency. Okay. So if at any point in your agent and when you're having a conversation with a client or something like that, and you run into a situation like this, I am all about, the path of least resistance and making sure the clients in all of this, we can try and make it better for them. Path of least resistance here would have been, you're right. I'm sorry. We're going to clean it off. Client's happy. That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted. This is totally unreasonable. Instead, you're going to point fingers and blame. She got the whole, this is not my job answer, which I hate. If you ever have employees that throw that around, have a conversation behind closed doors, okay, about that. This is not my job. Okay, like that's a red flag. All right. So we can only control the service that we give. We can't control our product. We can't control our pricing. I even stepped in. I was like, hey, I even tried to get in with my adjuster, my adjusting supervisor. And I was like, hey, look, this is probably the way it would have gone. And then I finally replied to him. I was like, look, I understand that this was the roofer's job, but our client obviously does not differentiate between roofer and claims adjuster. She's blaming you. Okay. So who cares who's right and wrong here? This is what's the problem. Let's fix it. Okay. This is just stupid, but this is the stuff that we have to deal with and handle. And I think it was a missed opportunity on my claim side, and they still don't get it. So, I'll get involved when I have to try and right the wrongs. But if stuff like this happens in your agency, just do the right thing. Even if you got to eat it, even if you have to apologize, who cares? Why is it so hard to say I'm sorry? Okay. Why do you have to have so much pride to be like, yeah, this isn't my fault. This is someone else's fault. You're wrong. Let's get away from that. All right. How can I make this right for you? Okay. I'm sorry. Say it out loud. Okay. It's not that hard. You can do it. So anyway, I just wanted to share this kind of silly experience, but something we can all learn from. And I just wanted to get in front of you and, make sure your teams are making the right decisions and taking care of your clients. And even with some of this silly stuff, maybe this is something that we'll joke about down the road. Maybe not, but that's my story for today. So, hey, my name is Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Don't forget to send me a text at 208-213-8809. And I've got a coaching program called agencylaunch.net, and we're having ridiculous results. Now that I have some students that are graduating from me for a year. For example, I had one agent who was doing the year before me, he wrote $303,000 worth of premium. And the next 12 months when he signed up with me, he did $611,000 worth of premium. The results are real and they're undeniable. So agencylaunch.net if you're interested. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.